Here is a wonderful piece of Sherman. It is like the pink fuchsia brooch. Question: is Sherman Canadian? When you think of costume jewelry, you think of glamorous cities like New York, LA, Chicago. But actually, Sherman is from Montreal, Canada. It is one of the top-notch costume jewelers in the 1950s. The person's name that made Sherman was Gustav Sherman. He was Jewish, and he immigrated to Canada from Eastern Europe. Of course, what sparked his interest was he took a job as a jewelry salesman in Montreal. He had no previous schooling or anything to do with jewelry, business making, but he started his Sherman costume jewelry in 1947. He started with one employee, an expert craftsman who helped make Sherman's exquisite designs a reality. By the 1950s, Sherman had established himself as Canada's foremost costume jewelry, and his work was appearing on runways in Paris and New York. Sherman used the highest level of quality. He copied fine jewelry. He used Swarovski crystals. He paid for top-of-the-line materials. He often put them in rhodium and gold-plated settings, prong settings, and you can tell that it looks just like fine jewelry, how he has prongs to hold it in. He used often the shimmering Aurora Borealis coating. In the early days, his pieces would go for as much as $50. That's very high for the 50s. His less elaborate pieces were sold in Canadian department stores and major jewelry shops like Burke's. The finest pieces of Sherman jewelry sold at boutiques across the country. Most of Sherman was made out of crystals, luminous, all different shapes and tones and hues. His necklaces and bracelets would move from champagne to topaz gold, sapphire to robin's egg blue. This one's the fuchsia to pink reds, and emerald to peridot green. Actually, Sherman came up with thousands of color schemes, some of which were produced for one season. Collectors are very interested in the deep red crystals. There wasn't as many of them. They have Japan backings. Sherman also made figural brooches like owls, cats, baskets, hearts, bows, and very highly sought after. There's not that many of those pieces. The backs are marked as I just showed. It is marked usually in capital Sherman and in script and in small, and some actually say Sherman Sterling. His braces all are a fine example of fine jewelry because they have safety chains, hidden clasps, and they're stamped again on the clasp. Many of his crystal beaded pieces, such as necklace and earrings, are unmarked, but there's books out there, and online you can look it up. His pieces are distinct. They're of good quality, and a lot of them are in books, so you can find unmarked Sherman. So this is at Strathroy Antique Mall, 39 Front Street East. It is January the 9th, 2016. This piece I just found in our mall for $16. To me, it's a $100 piece all day long. Nice find.